I've lived in New York City for 137 days, which means I am by far not an expert, but let me show you a few things. We're starting off in Times Square. One of the first things you're gonna learn is that you walk, and you walk a lot. There's also a huge culture built around walking. Everyone walks pretty quick. They usually don't wait for the crosswalks. Tell them if they can walk. They watch the traffic and figure out when they can walk for themselves. And it doesn't matter how fast you're walking, there will be somebody that's walking even faster than you, and they will go around you. Of course, just like the rest of the United States of America, Times Square is under construction right now, so it looks a bit confusing when you walk up this way. So if you ever feel lost or confused, just start looking up. It's a lot easier to tell where you're at when you see all the signs around you, and you can even see the ball. When you start to get into very touristy areas, you're going to see people dressed up like this everywhere. A lot of Disney characters. I'm not sure why there was 2 Marios though. You think one would at least be Luigi, but they do it as their job. So if you would like to take a picture with them, remember they would like you to pay them. There are also many guys like this that would like to give you a free CD. Do not take the free CD because sometimes they will also ask you for money. It can feel very strange the first few times you come here, especially if you're from a friendly area, but a lot of the time you need to just look straight forward and keep walking and pretend that they didn't say anything to you, or else you'll end up paying for something you didn't really want in the first place. If you look to our right over here, that's the NASDAQ, and then over here to the left is where the ball drops every year on New Year's. You can't really see it too well without looking way up there, so we're gonna walk a little bit further, turn back around and look at it and get a much better view. One thing that is really nice about walking across streets in New York City is that most of them are one ways, and so you really only need to look one way. But I recommend looking both ways because you never know when there's a random bike or skateboard that will just come at you and knock you down. We started our walk at 41st Street and now we just crossed 43rd Street. We're gonna walk just a little bit further and get the full look of all of the billboards and craziness around us. Now if we turn around and look at all these amazing screens, you can see that red dot up there. That is the ball that drops every year to symbol that we have hit a new year. Now that we've been in Times Square all day, we're gonna go ahead and get some delicious ice cream from my ice cream shop. So I'm going to show you how we get there. If we look ahead, you'll see the green street sign that says 43rd Street. That means we're 42 blocks away. So we're definitely not going to walk this. And cars take forever to get around here, so we're going to take the subway. The best route to take on the subway could be different depending on the time of the day, but we're going to go ahead and take a fun route. That's going to be pretty quick. It should only take us about 15 to 20 minutes to get there as long as we don't get caught up looking at everything. Your best friend is going to be the signs. If you look up to our left, there is a 43rd Street sign. We're going to walk to the subway station that is on 42nd Street. So we need to walk one more block. If you ever get lost or confused, don't be afraid to look it up in Google Maps. But hopefully from this video, if you watch it a couple times, you won't need any help from Google Maps. As we walk back up onto 42nd Street, you can see that all of our little characters are still here, making money, taking pictures with people. The subway stops can be hard to find sometimes, but they're typically on the corner and you can see them because they have these green poles sticking out with a little green ball on the top. If you look between these guys, you can see that that's the subway stop right there. And then each subway stop will have a sign that has different letters and numbers inside colored circles, and these are the different trains that run this station. Today we're gonna go on 2 trains. The first one is gonna be the S, and so we're gonna walk down here and we're gonna go on to the S train. The S train is a very simple train. It's a good first starting train because there's not much to it. It only goes one direction and it takes you from 42nd Street all the way over to Grand Central Station. Every subway entrance is pretty similar. What's really nice is that they've upgraded so that you can do tap to pay. I use my Apple Watch, but you can use a credit card or your phone. Just tap it on here and you're good to go through the turnstile. What's nice is that if we would have taken a car or a taxi to get to the ice cream shop, it would have probably costed us anywhere from 30 to 60 bucks and taken us forever to get there because of traffic. But since we're taking the train, it's only about $2.75. The biggest key now is to follow the signs and to make sure you're reading them well. It can be a little confusing in some stops, especially like this one where they have run many trains, so you want to really look for your train. We're going on the S, which was in the gray circle. So we're going to follow our arrow and go this way to make sure that we get on the right train. All the trains run pretty often, and so leave yourself a little extra time just if you get confused. Like right now, if we look up, the sign doesn't say the S anymore. So you may freak out and think that you went the wrong way, but we're going to keep walking forward and see if we can find any signs that tell us that the S is over here. If you look right above the track, there's normally signs that tell you which train it is and where it's going. These are extremely helpful. This is what we're looking for. This is the S, and it's saying it's going from 42nd Street over to Grand Central Station. So we found the right train. Now that you found the right tracks for the train that you want to get on, you can walk around and figure out where you want to wait to get onto the train. Some of my friends swear by getting to the front of the train because it's less crowded, but really it all just depends on which train you're riding and where the stops are. Also, the trains can be completely full depending on the time of the day or what day of the week it is. If it's a weekday and it's about 5 o'clock, it's going to be packed out, and good luck squeezing yourself onto that train. If you're still unsure that you're on the right train, if you look at the front, there's a giant S on it, and then as it goes by, there will be little signs on the side that say S. This will help you to make sure you get on the right train. I'll show you in a few minutes that some trains have the same color but different numbers, and that can mean some very confusing things. So you want to make sure you get on the right train. In my experience, this one never really seems to be that busy. You want to make sure you leave enough room for people to get off the train as you're trying to get on the train. This one is pretty much completely empty. I normally will try to be considerate and look around if anyone wants the chair first, but it seems like no one's here, so we get a nice little seat. This is a quick little ride, but if you're on the train often, you might want to bring headphones so you can listen to music or a book, just something to help you pass the time and mind your own business. As we get off at our stop, we're going to look around and see that there are more signs, which is what we're looking for. We're looking for the 4, 5, and 6. If you look at a map of the subways, the 4, 5, and 6 all run along the green line, so they're all going to be inside of a green circle. These subway stops are a bit far apart, so we're going to practice what I said earlier, lots of walking. But the thing that's nice is that it's just a hallway, so you shouldn't get confused. Just make sure you keep following the signs and you'll be going the right way. I know what you're thinking so far, that this has been kind of an ugly building, and I get it. At one point, it probably was beautiful, but it's kind of ugly. But the thing is, Grand Central Station is beautiful, so I want to make sure I show you that. Even though our train is probably right down here and we walked through all of that, we're gonna go upstairs. I really want to show you how beautiful this building is. If you look over to our right here, we finally did find our train. This is the 4, 5, 6, and 7. But I'm not in a huge rush, and this is your first time here, so we're gonna find an exit. I really want to go upstairs and show you Grand Central Station. Normally you wouldn't have to pay to go on another train, but since we're leaving, we're gonna have to pay to come back in. But I don't really care, I just really want to show you this. I'm not really sure how to get out of here, so once again, we're just gonna follow some signs or some people. Everyone seems to be going up this escalator, and I know we need to go up, so the sign says exit above us. We're gonna head this way, and hopefully this takes us to where I want to show you. If I know how to do math right, I think Grand Central Station is 108 years old, but it's still very beautiful, and I'm very excited for you to see it, maybe for the first time. Also, this mosaic is super cool. I think it's all made out of different colors of glass. I don't know, super cool. You probably have noticed this so far, but New York City is an amazing place to people watch, and I love to do it. There's so many unique, crazy different kinds of people here. It's a lot of fun just to walk around and see such a variety of fun different people. All right, I'm so excited to show you this. We're definitely going the right way. I don't know if you can tell, but the surroundings just got a lot nicer. Everything's very glossy and clean. It's gonna look very pretty, and we're just gonna keep going. There's some big chandeliers I want to show you down the hallway up here. Whenever I go to Grand Central Station, I think back to all kinds of movies, specifically Madagascar, when they escape the zoo and they go to Grand Central Station because they're trying to get to Africa. But I'm here to confirm with you that yes, this is a very real place. All growing up and just hearing and seeing New York City in movie and TV shows, it just never felt like it was a real place. And now that I'm here, it honestly still doesn't feel real, but every day it gets a little bit more real with moments like this, walking around and seeing everything. It's even crazier, not only that I live here, but I'm opening a business here. I never imagined that would be something I would ever be able to do. I know I tell you thank you in just about every video, but it's because you deserve it. And I just want to say thank you once again for changing my life, watching my videos, and hopefully someday I can serve you some ice cream and change your life just a little bit more back. We are so close to the most beautiful part that I cannot wait to show you. All we have to do is get up these little stairs. I finally found where I'm trying to go. So you can't tell me this place isn't just absolutely beautiful for no reason. It's just the subway station, just a really fancy old one. And as we look up to this amazingly painted ceiling, it has all of the constellations on it. It is extremely detailed. You can barely tell on this camera, but it looks amazing in real life. This is Grand Central Station. Thank you so much for coming on this random little tour with me. Now let's get back to what we're supposed to be doing, which is going to the ice cream shop. We need to find where that 4, 5, 6 train is again. To be 100% honest, I don't really know where I'm going, but I came from behind me, so I guess I'm just gonna turn around and go back through that way and hope for the best. I guess it'll be a little fun game for us, so we can figure out if we can follow the signs and find our way back to that 4, 5, 6 train. One thing that's also cool about New York City is like this guy right here. A bunch of people have really cool ways to get around. That guy has a one wheel. It's kind of like a skateboard, but has a wheel in the middle, and you just glide across. There's all kinds of weird things you'll see people getting around the city on. Let's make sure we get back on track, because after this long walk and a little detour, I'm definitely ready for some ice cream. And here, look, we found the sign. This says that our 4, 5, and 6 train is straight ahead, so we need to keep going this way. Even though it said that the train we're looking for is this way, I don't think this is the way we came from, and this is probably a very long roundabout way. So it's gonna take us a little longer, so we're gonna have to walk a lot further than we originally wanted to. That's only because we took our scenic route and wanted to see Grand Central Station. If we would have just went down the stairs at the beginning, we would already be at the ice cream shop. But I think it was worth the side trip. And if you look at that, I see our sign again. It says 4, 5, and 6, and then an arrow that way. Well, now that we're up here, the arrow actually tells us to go left, so we're gonna go left to go find our 4, 5, and 6 train. And of course, it's an extremely long hallway once again. But it's all good. We're having fun. We're enjoying our walk. We're enjoying seeing the city, seeing all the crazy things that are here, like all these posters. Sometimes people will prank the posters and they'll draw like mustaches on the people and stuff. Sometimes they're actually really creative and funny though. I'm not sure what happened here, but I guess I just didn't read it the first time, but we went again and we're all good to go. I almost feel like I'm cheating because you got to come in for free, but we won't tell them. Hey, wait, I guess we're even because I left a few minutes ago to show you around and I came back, so I pretty much paid twice for this ride, so I guess we're even. Now, if you remember, this is where we were supposed to go down. This is the 4, 5, and 6, and 7, but we're looking for the 4, 5, and 6. It looks like our train is here, so we better hurry up and get down these stairs and hurry up and run onto the train. You want to be careful when doing this because you might panic and run and get on the train because you want to make sure you make it, and then you end up getting on the wrong train, which funny enough is what we just did right now. We just got onto the 5 train and we're supposed to be getting onto the 6. The 5 is one of the express trains, and so it's not going to stop at the stop that we need to get off on. So thankfully somebody knocked the doors back open and we could run out and come sit over here and wait for the 6. As we look at these signs, we want to also make sure that we're getting onto the right direction of our train. The train that we're trying to get on is the 6, and the 6 does go north and south. We want to make sure that we're going downtown, which is south. As our train comes, you can see that there is a green 6 on the front, which lets us know that yes, this is finally the right train for us. Also on the side, you can see more green 6s and a green stripe. This train is pretty full compared to the last one. Even though this isn't very full, we're probably not going to get a seat, which is really okay. All that matters is that we get on the right train and it's going the right direction. We're going to sit on here for 5 stops, which is only 9 minutes, so we'll be there pretty quick. Once we sit through all 5 of our stops, we're going to go ahead and get off at Bleecker Street. A random tip that I think is helpful if you're new to the subway and being underground: whenever you get off, just find the nearest exit, get out there, and it's a lot easier to figure out where you're at above ground. Don't stress too much about picking the perfect exit to be exactly where you want to be. All right, now we're pretty much there at the top of these stairs. If we look to our right, we'll be able to see the ice cream shop. If you look all the way at the end of the street, that big tall building there, that's where the ice cream shop is. It's on that first floor. As we look both ways to cross the street, we're gonna see that all of the papered up windows here, that's gonna be our ice cream shop. I don't think we're getting any ice cream out of here today. I'm pretty sure they're still doing some work on it. Let's open the door and see what's going on. And they're laying down some epoxy on the floor in the back. I just wanted to peek in, but since they're working, I won't show you much more, but we're gonna go take a little walk around the neighborhood. I'll show you a few things before we say bye. If we close the door and walk over this way to Lafayette, this is such a fun area. Oh yeah, remember what I said about subway stops? Here's a 6 subway stops. We probably could have came out there. Before we say bye and I show you the last few parts of our trip, I just want to say thank you so much for sticking around and watching to the end. If you made it this far, please leave a leaf emoji so I know you made it. And if you have any other parts in New York City you want me to show you, please comment them down below. This place right here has some crazy cookies, and then next door is my favorite taco spot. The tacos here are so good. I hope by next time you get a chance to visit New York City and you're in Times Square, you can come back to this video and watch how to get from Times Square to my ice cream shop, and come see me and I'll hopefully get to make you some ice cream, and maybe if you're good enough, we can try catching and throwing it. Have a great rest of your day, and please go outside and walk for just a few minutes.